Everyone in the underground lab called him a mistake. They did not say it loudly, but their eyes said everything. He was Earth's failed experiment, the one that did not work, the one people laughed at. He stood behind thick glass walls while scientists watched him like a broken tool. Some shook their heads, others wrote notes. None believed in him. To them, he was only proof that humans had reached their limit. Earth had tried to change fate. Earth had tried to fight death itself. And this man was the result they wanted to forget. He remembered the first day they called him a prototype. He remembered the hope in their voices back then. That hope was gone now, replaced by jokes and silence. "He is too weak," one scientist whispered. "He will never survive the next phase." Another said they thought he could not hear them, but he heard everything. He always did. The room was cold. Metal walls shining under white lights. Machines hummed like they were alive. A red warning light blinked slowly, as if counting his remaining value. Then the door opened, not with noise, not with urgency, but calmly. She walked in. She was not wearing a lab coat. She was not human. The air felt different the moment she entered. The machines around her went silent. Even the scientists stopped speaking. She looked at him, not like the others did. There was no pity in her eyes, no laughter, only focus. Sharp and ancient, he felt exposed, as if she could see every fear inside him. She stepped closer to the glass. Her voice was soft, but it carried power. "Do you know why they laugh at you?" she asked. He did not answer. He already knew. "They laugh because humans fear failure, more than death," she continued. The scientists tried to interrupt her, but she raised one hand, and they froze, unable to move. She turned fully toward him. "You are not a failure," she said. "You are unfinished." She held up a small vial filled with dark glowing liquid. It pulsed slowly, like a living heart. The light reflected in his eyes. "If you drink this," she said, "you will never be mortal again." Her words cut through the room. Even the machine seemed to listen. His breath slowed. This was the moment everyone feared, the moment Earth had avoided. The scientists began shouting. Alarms started flashing. "Stop him!" someone yelled. "That serum is not stable!" Another screamed. She did not look back at them. She only watched him. "This is not power," she said. "This is choice." He looked at the vial, then at his reflection in the glass. A weak man, a joke, a failed dream. He thought about Earth, about people living under the shadow of stronger races, about humanity always being told to stay small, stay fragile. He thought about dying as he was, forgotten, or living as something new, something unknown. She placed the vial into his hand. Her fingers were warm, not cold like he expected. "This path cannot be undone," she warned. The room held its breath. The galaxy, unseen and distant, waited. He did not ask what he would become. He did not ask if it would hurt. He did not ask if he would still be human. He closed his fingers around the vial, lifted it slowly, and for the first time in his life, he smiled. Without fear, without hesitation, he brought it closer, to his lips, and the world watched as Earth's greatest joke prepared to change everything. The moment the liquid touched his lips, the world seemed to slow down. The taste was not bitter, not sweet, just heavy, like destiny itself. He swallowed once, and the vial emptied. For 1 second, nothing happened. The scientists laughed in nervous relief. Someone said, "See, nothing changed." Then he dropped to his knees. Pain exploded inside his body like fire under his skin. His heart began to beat too fast, then too slow. Alarms screamed across the lab. Red lights flooded the room. Machines started showing numbers no human body should reach. His bones felt like they were breaking, then rebuilding. His blood burned, but it did not kill him. It felt like his body was being rewritten, line by line. The scientists panicked. "This is impossible," one shouted. "He should be dead already," another screamed. She stood perfectly still. Her eyes never left him. "This is the point where humans always stop," she said calmly. He pressed his hands against the floor. Every breath felt like his last. Memories flashed through his mind, fast and sharp. He saw Earth from space, small and blue. He saw humans bowing to stronger races. He saw fear passed down like a tradition. His heartbeat suddenly stopped. The machines went silent. A flat line appeared on every screen. Someone whispered, "It's over." Someone else turned away, unable to look, but she stepped forward. "Watch carefully," she said. "This is where failure becomes evolution." The flat line jumped, once, twice, Then his heart started again, stronger than before. The sound echoed through the lab like thunder. The machine struggled to measure him. Numbers broke, screens flickered. He gasped and pulled in a deep breath. Air felt different in his lungs. Clearer, sharper. Pain faded, replaced by strength. Slowly, he stood up, not shaking, not afraid, calm. The glass wall in front of him cracked, not from force, but from pressure alone. The scientist stepped back in fear. He looked at his hands. They were the same, yet not the same. He could feel everything, the room, the energy, the life inside it. She nodded once, satisfied. "You are no longer bound by time," she said. "You will not age. You will not weaken." He turned to her. "Am I alive?" he asked quietly. She smiled slightly. "You are more alive than any human before you," she answered, "but you are still human because you chose to be." Security weapons activated around the room. Automated turrets locked onto him. Threat systems labeled him as a danger. He did not move. He only looked at the scientists who once laughed at him. Their fear was loud now. "She did this," one of them shouted, pointing. "She turned him into a weapon." She shook her head. "No," she said. "Humanity did." He stepped forward. Each step made the floor vibrate slightly, not with violence, but with certainty. He raised his hands, showing he meant no harm. "I am still me," he said. "I just refuse to die quietly." Silence filled the lab. Fear mixed with awe. Somewhere, far beyond Earth, something noticed a change. A signal moved through the stars. The galaxy became aware that Earth had crossed a line. The man who was once a joke stood at the center of it all, not as a god, not as a monster, but as proof that humans would never accept limits again. The change did not stay hidden for long. Energy waves left Earth like a silent scream. Signals moved faster than light, reaching places humans had never seen. Across the galaxy, ancient sensors woke up. Old empires lifted their heads. Powerful racers noticed something impossible. A human had crossed the mortal line. On distant worlds, aliens gathered in halls made of crystal and metal. They replayed the data again and again, a human heart stopping, then restarting stronger. Laughter filled many rooms. "Humans always fail," one voice said. "They play with forces they cannot control," said another. "They called it a trick. They called it luck. They called it a mistake that would soon destroy itself." But one group did not laugh. The Galactic Council, older than most stars, watched in silence. They had seen many species rise and fall. They knew that true danger never arrived loudly. "This human did not steal power," one council member said. "He was offered a choice. That makes him unpredictable." A decision was made. Earth would be tested, not destroyed, not attacked, but measured. Back on Earth, the man felt it before anyone told him. A pressure in the air, a feeling of being watched. She stood beside him in the lab. "You feel them, don't you?" she asked. He nodded slowly. "They are coming," she said, "not with war, but with judgment." Human leaders panicked. When the message arrived, a single ship would enter Earth's space. No weapons fired, no warning given. The ship appeared above the planet like a dark moon. Silent, massive, unstoppable. Human defenses locked on, but did nothing. The man was taken to meet them, not as a prisoner, but as a question. Inside the alien vessel, the air felt heavy. Gravity shifted slightly. Testing his balance, he stood firm. A tall alien figure stepped forward. Its voice echoed inside his mind. "Human, you carry power you do not understand." He met its gaze. "I understand choice," he replied. "That is enough." The aliens unleashed their test. Energy waves designed to break bodies and minds. Weapons that once erased armies. The wave hit him. The floor cracked beneath his feet. Pain returned for a moment, sharp and real. He did not fall. He did not scream. He stayed standing, breathing steadily. The aliens reacted with surprise. "This should be impossible," one said. "No mortal survives this." He looked at them calmly. "I was mortal," he answered. "Not anymore." They tried again, mental pressure this time. Fear and despair forced into his thoughts. Images of death, loneliness, endless time. He saw them all. He accepted them, and he pushed back. The room shook, not from his anger, but from his will. The aliens stepped back, uneasy. "This human still feels," one whispered. He did not lose himself. Far away, humans watched the signal feed, their fear slowly turning into hope. For the first time, Earth was not bowing. The test ended. The alien leader spoke again. Earth has changed the balance. The man said nothing. He only thought of his planet, small and fragile, and how it now stood noticed as the alien ship prepared to leave. A final message echoed through the galaxy. Humans are no longer harmless, and among the stars, old empires began to worry, because the most dangerous species was not the strongest, but the one that refused to accept its limits. After the alien ship left, the world did not feel safe. It felt quiet. Like the silence before a storm, Earth was no longer ignored. The man returned to the underground lab, but it no longer felt like a cage. It felt small. Humans celebrated. Outside, news channels called him a hero, a shield, a miracle. But it did not feel like any of those things. Inside him, time felt different. Seconds stretched, memories stayed sharp. Nothing faded anymore. He remembered every face that ever doubted him, every laugh, every cruel word. They did not hurt now, but they stayed. She noticed the change in him. "You feel the cost," she said. He nodded. "Immortality is not freedom," she continued. "It is weight." They walked through a quiet corridor. Lights reflected off metal walls. Footsteps echoed slowly. He asked the question he had avoided. "Why did you give this to me?" Her steps slowed. "My people were once like humans," she said. "We feared death, so we erased it." Her voice was calm, but empty. She explained how her race became immortal, how time took everything else instead. Emotion faded, love weakened, purpose disappeared. "We survived forever," she said, "but we stopped living." He felt something twist inside his chest. "Will that happen to me?" he asked. She looked at him carefully. "It will," she said. "If you forget why you chose this." Earth's leaders wanted him as a weapon, as a symbol, as a warning. He refused them all. "I did not drink to rule," he said. "I drank to protect." That answer confused them. Power without hunger scared them more than power with anger. He spent time among ordinary people, walking streets without guards, listening, watching, learning. He saw fear in their eyes, but also hope, a fragile, dangerous hope. Children looked at him like he was a legend. Adults looked at him like a question. Both scared him. One night, he stood alone, looking at Earth from orbit. Blue, bright, alive, so easy to lose. She joined him. "You can leave," she said. "The galaxy will offer you a place among gods." He thought about it. Endless time, endless power, no limits. It felt empty. "I choose Earth," he said. "I choose humans." She smiled. "Truly this time. Then you will remain one of them," she said, "as long as you remember what it means to feel." Far away, alien powers watched. They saw a being who could dominate, but chose restraint. That choice made them uneasy, because force could be measured, but restraint could not. Earth had not created a ruler, it had created a guardian, one who felt every loss and carried it forever, and deep inside him, he understood the truth. Immortality was not the gift, humanity was. The warning came suddenly, not in words, not in sound, but in the shaking of the ground. Earth's satellites detected movement. Massive ships approaching, ships that had destroyed planets. That had ended civilizations. The world panicked. People ran. Governments called emergency meetings. Weapons activated. Missiles loaded. Energy shields flared. But deep down, everyone knew nothing could stop them. He stood quietly on the hill, outside the lab, watching the sky turn dark with alien ships. He felt their presence, their intent, but he did not feel fear. She appeared beside him, silent as always. "Your choice begins now," she said. He nodded. It was not about power, not about revenge, not about war. It was about humanity, fragile, stubborn, alive. The first wave of alien energy hit Earth. Cities trembled, oceans roared, mountains shook, yet he did not move. He simply raised his hand, slowly, calmly. A force radiated from him, not destructive, not violent, a shield of will, of choice, of humanity itself. The alien weapons faltered, splitting against an invisible wall. Pilots, soldiers, scientists, everyone watched in awe. He walked through the storm, each step leaving calm behind. The ships above struggled to understand. How could a single human resist forces meant to crush worlds? He reached the largest ship, the command vessel. Its hull pulsed with alien energy, alive in its own way. A voice filled his mind, deep and cold. Human, submit, or die. He closed his eyes, not with fear, but with memory, of Earth, of people, of laughter and pain, of every choice that had made him human. I will not submit, he said, and with that, a wave of energy pulsed outward, not to destroy, but to protect. Every ship felt it, every mind understood. Humans would not be controlled, would not be crushed, would not be erased. The alien command hesitated. This was not the result they expected. Strength alone did not scare them. Will did, choice did, restraint did. Ships retreated slowly, not defeated by weapons, but by the spirit of a single human. The galaxy had learned a lesson. Earth had sent a message. Humans could rise. Humans could endure. Humans could choose. He stood alone. The storm fading around him, cities in ruins, yet alive. People began to rebuild. Hope returned, stronger than before. She approached once more. You have changed everything, she said. He looked at her. No, he replied. Humanity has changed everything. The stars above Earth no longer ignored the small blue planet. They watched, wary and curious, because one human had shown them a truth they had not understood. It was not strength that made a species powerful. It was the courage to act, the will to survive, the choice to protect. He turned to the horizon. Earth stretched before him, fragile, imperfect, alive, and he knew, finally, it was never a failed experiment. It was the first step, the guardian of humanity, and somewhere deep in the galaxy, old empires whispered in fear, because humans had begun to awaken, and awakening could not be stopped.